Hello, my name is Cardavis Washington. Today I'm going to be giving you an overview of my dentist project for Java 3. So before we get into the actual program and how it works, I'm actually going to show you my design. So first we have my JSPs. So it kind of looks like an unconventional layout, but this is kind of how I keep my JSPs organized, was my services and objects, and kind of keep them up, coordinated by the name, and different things like that. And as you can see, I have a couple for dentist as well as patient. And then I have my index to start. So this is my JSPs. And now I'm gonna move on to my servlets. Okay, so as you can see, I have my servlets. I have approximately about 5 servlets. I thought I was gonna need a little bit more, but I was able to, do with 5, and it worked my project out just fine. So, but last but not least, I'll actually go back right here. And these are actually what I had to build first, and that's my objects. So I have an appointment object, appointment list object that kind of holds my arrays, my dentist object, patient object, as well as my procedure object. So that's pretty much a brief example of my design. Before we get started, I just kind of wanted to show you that. And now we can kind of get to the Java documentation, as well as, me showing you that I have pretty much all of my pages commented as well. So if we just go right here, kind of just want to show you those comments before we get started. So as you can see, all of my, code is commented for the most part. I'm not going to go through every single page. Just kind of want to, just let you know that it is commented, and that I have somebody wants to come in, they want to look at my code, they won't have a hard time, knowing what does what, and why it's being commented the way it is. So now we're going to move on to my Java doc. So I'm going to go over here and generate my Java doc for my dentist office project. And I remember in the video that you created on Blackboard, the documentation video, you stated that you really didn't want any documentation for our serverless, seeing as how they're kind of one huge method. So I didn't really do any documentation for my serverless, but I did it for each object that I have in my project. So as you can see, I have documentation for my appointment. We'll just start with that first. And as you can see, my select, insert, update, and delete documentation is here. It selects appointments from the database, inserts appointments into database, update appointments, as well as deletes appointments from database. And then I have my appointment list. So as you can see, I have my appointment list right here. And I have my add appointment. And appointment list is kind of different just because, it's not too much going on, but I still had it documented. So as you can see, I have add appointment, method takes appointment objects and adds to an array. And then I'm just going to show you my dentist. And we're going to just come down. I didn't really do much for my getters and setters, but, I have my get appointments, gets all dentists and puts them into an array. Selects database, inserts database, inserts dentist into database, updates, and deletes. So as you can see, it's kind of uniform. It's very simple and straightforward, but, that's kind of how I want it, just because if somebody wants to come in right after me and look at my code, they can see what each method does and why and what those classes entail. So as you can see, get procedure pulls the procedure info for the patient. I have the select from database, insert, update, as well as delete. Now I have my procedure, which is the last one we'll look at. I select procedures from the database, insert procedures into database, update, as well as delete. So pretty much it's the same thing for each one. A little bit of variation, but it pretty much resolves around the same thing. So now I'm going to exit out of this. Now we're going to get into the meat of the project. So I'm going to run my file, and I'm going to, kind of show you everything and how it works. So if you give me one moment, let me just pull up my checklist so I can go over everything that you need. All right, now let's press this. So to start, as you can see, I say, I just have welcome to the dentist office, very simple and straightforward. I have my patient login right here, and we'll start with that first. So as you can see, I'm gonna choose the autofill, and I'm actually gonna minimize this and pull up my dentist office. And we're gonna have a split screen so you see the changes that I'm making while I'm, making them in my project. So I'm gonna pull this over. Let's come right here. Let's plug that in. Oops, I made a mistake. I didn't plug in the right thing. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, right here, I've logged into Lawrence Zetterman, and it's the same thing as right there, okay? So first I just showed you how to log in. Now, say for instance, if we wanna go in and change, Lawrence's last name, his address, his email, and his insurance, we could just go in and do that right here. So as you can see, right now it's Hollywood, is where he's from, where he resides. Email is Lawrence Z, and his insurance is Aetna, but we're gonna change those parameters. So now I'm gonna go in and change his last name to King, Lawrence King. Now we're gonna go in, I'm gonna change this to Kennesaw. Then we're gonna change this to Lawrence K, and we're gonna say Cigna. Okay. Now I'm gonna change all of this, and as you can see, it's been changed in the project, but if you wanna actually see it being changed in the database, we're gonna come back to it, go to dentist, and as you can see, it's been changed from, Lawrence King. His last name has been changed, his address, his email, and even his insurance to Cigna. It was Aetna before. Okay, so now you've seen me change that info. Now we're gonna go down and say, hey, I wanna see his appointments. That's no problem at all. Here's his appointment right here. It's already set up in the database. Sierra Zetterman, which is the first dentist in my database, is right here. And as you can see, if you wanted to go in, and I know on the rubric, according to the rubric, you stated that you didn't want to really see, we didn't have to add an appointment, if they already had one. So there's no need for me to add another one. But if you did want to do that or update one, we can go in and change these parameters right here. And it pretty much can just, I'm sorry, it'll basically just change the information just like I did it for, these parameters right up here. So now that's pretty much it for my patient. I showed you how to log in, view and change info, and things like that. And I've also shown you his appointment. So now we're gonna move on to dentist. So if we come to dentist and log in right here, D201, we're gonna actually log into Sierra Zetterman. So I already have a little bit of her parameters already in. So now I'm gonna log in. As you can see, I've logged in, and that's Sierra Zetterman, which is the first dentist in our database. Okay, so now if I wanna go in, I wanna change her info, and we'll say, hey, she just got married. We'll just change her last name to Sierra Johnson. And as you can see right here, it's Zetterman, but after it'll be changed. And then we wanna change her email address. And let's say she, got moved to a different office, office 800. So now I'm gonna change it, and as you can see, it's being changed. So if I come right here and I exit out, and I come back to it, all of her information has been changed. So it went from Sierra Zetterman to Sierra Johnson. Her email is being changed, and her office has also been changed. Okay, now if you wanna say, hey, or Sierra says, you know what, man, I just wanna see how many appointments I have within the next couple of weeks or so. It's no issue at all. All she has to do is click this, go to upcoming appointments, and boom, here's all of her appointments right here. And as you can see, they're all aligned. She has about 4 appointments. Okay. And we're gonna exit out of this, come right down here, open this up. So that pretty much sums up everything. I pretty much showed you everything from the Java documentation to my design. I've showed you how everything is pretty much commented for the most part. I've showed you how to log in for the patient, view and change current info, view the dentist appointments for the patient, and I didn't have to add a new one since it was already one added. And then for my dentist, I showed you how to log in, view the current name and address info, and view their upcoming appointments. Thank you, and have a great day.